It's Ash from Super Videos, back for another video for The Walking Dead. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at Erin's story in Season 11, Part 3 of The Walking Dead, which we're obviously halfway in through now. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at whether Erin will die in Season 11, Part 3, and how that might happen. Whether the variant walkers are going to be in some way involved in his death, or whether he's going to die some other way. So stay tuned, we'll be right back to break it all down. Alright, as always, before we dive into it, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. With that said, let's dive right into it. So obviously, by now, we know that Erin is a pretty major character as far as the variant zombie story goes, because he was obviously there in the episode where they were introduced. Yes, we had Jerry, Lydia, and Elijah in that episode as well, but at the same time, I feel like the majority of the focus in that episode was on Erin. And I think another element that gets added in is that it was Erin who spoke about this. He was the one that mentioned that he had heard stories about these variant walkers. So unlike what many fans thought, which is that Erin is in some way, shape, or form gonna die in the Commonwealth storyline, we are seeing that that is probably not gonna happen because we're getting near the end of the actual Commonwealth story and Erin is not really a part of that. So that means that he's obviously not going to be really involved in the Commonwealth story and the conclusion to that story unless he comes back into the story in some way and we go from there. But based on what we've seen from the teasers, trailers, and behind the scenes pictures, we know that Erin is not really going to be in Commonwealth in these last 8 episodes. So that's something to keep in mind. In fact, the only things we've seen with Erin in the official teasers and trailers has been things related to this variant zombie story. So I think it's extremely unlikely that Erin is in some way, shape, or form gonna come back to the Commonwealth storyline and potentially either get the Rick Grimes comic story or get some other story that involves the Commonwealth. I think we're not gonna see the group that we saw in that cabin town, characters including Jerry, Erin, Elijah, and Lydia, anytime soon. And when we do see them, they're probably going to be facing another challenge, facing off against these variant zombies. And I think at the end of that challenge, we will lose a few people from that group. At this point, Lydia is the safest person out of that group. And I definitely see all the other 3, so Jerry, Elijah, and Erin, being in deep trouble the next time we see them. I mean, Elijah's death was already teased at multiple times in the last episode that he was in, which was the variant episode. I shouldn't say teased that, but there was a lot of different foreshadowing for his death. Same sort of thing for Jerry. I mean, they were really close to killing Jerry. I'm surprised they didn't kill him in that episode, but I feel like he's probably not going to make it. But just to circle back around to the topic of this video, I feel like because Erin has been a major figure in this variant storyline and because there hasn't been anything released, official and unofficial, that points towards him being around at the Commonwealth, in the Commonwealth storyline, it is extremely likely that he will in some way die by the hands of these variant walkers. Now, when it comes to how that might happen, there's a lot of things that they could do. There's a few ways that they could have the story go, a few directions that they could pull him towards that may lead to his demise. One of these being, he's obviously going to get bit by one of these variant walkers. The other one is that he's going to sacrifice himself and die by the hands of these variant walkers, but sacrificing himself to save maybe Lydia, something like that. That's another direction that they could go. The third direction they could go is that they're gonna have a major twist and a major reveal about these variant walkers, which leads to Erin's death, much like what we saw with the Whispers when they were introduced, when we first learned about who they really are and when their first introduction came. We had Jesus' death, and his death in a way pushed forward the Whispers arc, which couldn't necessarily have been done otherwise. I feel like they're gonna do a similar thing with Aaron. I feel like Aaron is in some way gonna die in a similar fashion with a twist like we saw with Jesus' death, but this time it's gonna involve the variant zombies rather than the Whispers like we saw with Jesus. And another thing that would kind of line things up even further, and something that you could look at as something that brings things full circle, is that obviously Aaron and Jesus were a couple, so that's another thing that could definitely make this even more likely that Aaron is gonna face the same fate as Jesus. But that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe to join our community, and press the bell to be notified when I upload on the channel. That's it for this video. See you next time for another super video.